What's up YouTube? Jake here from H&M Reptiles, and I'm doing a video today of how to handle your ball pythons. Now most people who have snakes should know how to handle the snake that you have, whether it be venomous, non-venomous, small, big. You should know how to handle your snake if you have it. But if you don't have it, or you don't have snakes and you're planning on getting one, and you still don't know what to do, that's what this video is for. I'll do a bigger one and I can do a smaller one, but I'll cut real quick and then I'll show you. Alright guys, so this is one of my smallest ball pythons. This is my albino female. And you see I only need one hand to hold her. But regardless what size, you always want to support the body. You don't want to hold the snakes like this, because it makes them feel like they're going to fall. You want to give them a good support all the time. As you see, I let her body go on one hand, and wherever her head goes, I'll put my free hand will go under wherever her head is going, so she always has a support somewhere, and she's not struggling to keep herself up. Now, ball pythons are relatively tame, or really tame. Most of them are. But for other snakes that are jumpy when you touch them, even when you're holding them, like my adult male boa is that way. It can be hard to do that, so it's going to take practice. But with ball pythons, really all you have to do is once you get them out, you just support their bodies the whole time. And some of them are really head shy, but this girl right here, you can pet her all over her head. She's been held since we got her, and she was really little then, and she was held all the time, constantly, and that kind of thing. So she's really used to it, and like I said, head shyness doesn't worry. But other snakes, you might not want to go near their head or anything. But all you have to do for these guys is just give them support and make sure they're not struggling to keep themselves up, really. So I'll put her back, and then I'll show you guys how to go into a cage with a little bit bigger of a snake, a ball python still, and how to take them out with when you have to use two hands with them. So I'll be right back. Alright guys, so this is the part once you're going into a little bit bigger of a snake's cage. Nothing like a boa or Burmese or reticulated python or anything like that, but a bigger ball python that you're going to have to use two hands with. So I keep mine in these tubs. If you see my reptile room video before this, I keep them in tubs, and the bigger ones don't have lids on them because the tubs are cut to fit the size. But yeah, so when you pull them out, when not having a lid, they could be anywhere. So I pull this girl out, and she's balled up in the back, but you can't see that very well. But I pull this guy out up here, and he's cruising around. His head's up because they get fed in their bins, so there's a feeding response. So with this snake, she doesn't really have a feeding response. Even when she smells food, she kind of waits for it to go in, and it takes a couple of minutes for her to see it. But when you go in, I'll pick the camera up and show you this before I actually pick her up. When you see the snake and you find out where its head is, that's what you want to do. You're going to find where its head is first, and then you want to touch them just a little bit on the back to let them know that you're there, but don't do it too long, especially if you have a snake that has a good feeding response, because with that, you're going to show them that you might be food, and they might try to swing around really fast and bite you, and that's not a fun day, regardless of how big the snake is, or if it's a snake this size, it's still not a fun day with teeth in you. So I'm going to do the same thing I just did, and then I'll pick her up and show you how to handle them. So I think you can see her a little bit. So you're coming from the opposite way of their head after you find out where it is. And for mine, I usually hold them about a quarter way back from their head and towards the tail. But I hold them like this usually. I'll put her cage back for now, so that her head and stuff can have movement, and it's free, but her body back here in the the midsection is held up, and this is hanging down, but it's not like I'm holding her like this, where her whole body's hanging like that. I fold her up, and it's not hurting her. Her muscles contracted or, loosened up for me to be able to do that. And you can just hold them like this. And ball pythons, sometimes, some snakes are like when they get out, are like really hyper like her. She loves to be held. But other snakes will sit there and ball up, hence the name ball python. And they won't really do anything. But for a snake like her, the same thing with a little one. And with bigger snakes, you can kind of let them crawl on your shoulder and all like she's doing. But just make sure you support them. And, don't go towards their head too fast or very much. And you'll be alright. Now, the next thing I'm going to do in this video is I'm going to show you how to get them back in their cage after they've been out being held. And they're like she is, crawling around. So if you're in a rack system like this, you're going to want to push their cage in a little bit more and just put their head in. And they'll see it, that's where it is, and they'll go in. At least mine do. If they try to come out the other side, just put your hand flat over the top of the cage. And that's that. That's how you get them out. That's how you handle them. It's not that difficult. Now with a little more bit of an aggressive snake, it might be, but most of mine are only cage aggressive, and that's not even being aggressive, that's more or less of a food response. This spider right here that I have, when she's in her cage, she hisses, she uses her body and like pushes when you touch her. She's in shed right now, so I'm really not going to mess with her. But hers is just out of feeding response because I feed them in their bins. Now you can stop that by feeding in a separate feeding bin, but that's just a hassle when you have, let's see, I have 14 snakes. That's a hassle to move them all in one day and get all the feeding done and move them back. And I feel like you get bit more, I feel like I've been bit more moving them from the feeding bin back into their regular bin than I have been taking them out of their bin to hold them with their food response. Now this snake is my champagne, he's in shed. He's one of the snakes that he just kind of sits there when you take him out. So with him, I mean, he's not as big as she is, but you only really need one hand for him to sit there on. So, that's easy. That's the only thing. That's the only down part about ball pythons, really, is that some of them just do this when you take them out. Other ones like the yellow belly that you saw, she crawls around, she explores, she does all that. Boas explore. Corn snakes love to explore. But some ball pythons, they do this. But that's just a quick video. I had nothing else to do. So, I figured, why not? I haven't made a video in about a week. Trying to keep the page up to date. Next month, I'm going to have a video. It should be a really good video of the Hamburg PA Reptile Show with me, and Logan will be there. And afterwards, I'll do a pickup video if I happen to get anything new. And he's planning on getting a few things. So, that was my handling a ball python video. Sorry if it was a little long. But that's really it. It's a simple thing to do once you get the hang of it. I've been doing it for about a good while, a good half of my life. But really, that's all there is to it. And the main part is, don't be scared. If you're going into a snake's cage, don't sit there and, pet it and pet it and pet it and then not hold it. And then, just don't do that. Just go in, touch it a couple times so it knows what you are, and take the snake out of the bin or enclosure. And it's a little different with a tank because they have more room to go around and try and get away from you. And but it's still the same kind of concept. Do it quick, but still touch them to let you know that you're there. And if you really need to, you can use a snake hook to get them out of the cage if their food response is that bad. Like one of my corn snakes, she will bite everything that goes into her cage, regardless of what it is. But once you get her out of the cage, She won't strike. She doesn't do anything. She sits there and she lets you hold her for hours. So whatever works, but it's really not that bad. And handling a snake literally is just supporting its body the whole time. So thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. What animals you want to see? I've got corn snakes, ball pythons, boas, bearded dragons. I've got rats. Let me know what you want to see more of, and we'll make it happen. Alright guys, thanks for watching again, and see you later.